let's go then. Let's go for this quick sketch. Hilda, would you like to have a look how to start this one?
Are you recording them?
Yes, I'm recording. Okay. Because you see, that could be useful also for Michelle.
Yeah, and for you.
Yes. And the other class.
Yes, I think she's got appointment at Moorfields tomorrow, Henry was saying, so she's...
Oh, has she? All right.
So, first of all, the best thing to do, or the easiest thing to do, is to create or to isolate this upper body, which is beautifully connected to this, to obviously the thigh on the right. So the upper body here, which is a bit, look, it's like a square, at least this side, 90 degrees, a 90 degree angle here, and then you have a bended torso. So a torso which comes like this, and then a 90 degree angle. See? Easier than you think. If you see, but honestly, I mean, if we start isolating it and seeing it as part of the upper body and what shape it does, and parts of the lower body, the shape of it, then you will see that it makes sense. And then, so this is that hand, body, thigh, kneecap, calf, and obviously foot itself, and then calf here, is gluteus, and then obviously the thigh, the whole area here. And now I've done a straight line at the beginning, but it's a little bit more muscly, so it's not a exactly straight line. And then you have, look, from that area, which is crotch area, coming right down there, his right thigh. And it's not actually a straight line like this one, it's an angular line like this. See, and then calf and foot itself. That actually looks like the son of the Isle of Man.
Well, it's man, isn't it?
Yeah.
The distance between the knee and the bum is a bit bigger on the picture.
Yes. So the knee of the bum, this knee, isn't it?
That thigh needs to be.
Yeah, that's a bit lower, longer there.
No, I didn't mean that one. I meant the other one.
The other one.
Yeah.
Oh yes, this one.
Yeah.
This one. Yes. So yes, I see. Yeah. So basically, that means that the bum, instead of being in there, just push it forward. Push the bum forward, and what Ian says is that this from the bum till there to the calf here. Okay, so there you are. This is the shape of it. Obviously, the head. Look, the head is. It's mind-boggling because the head is actually there. Huh? Look, this area here. There. The head is there, and then you have the body, which obviously follows. Yeah, and then you have the hand itself. So this is the simplified version of the complex image here that we have. Yeah? Then you have obviously the chin is there, hair, and is very, very close to his foot. Being a dancer, obviously you can take this. Nina, can you see? And so I'm trying not to be, it's not exactly a straight line down, it's a slightly bended, this line is forward, and that means that the calf goes also a bit, moves forward there. And foot, there, to match, because the foot is actually as big as the head is. If you measure the foot itself, it's at least as big as the face, but you cannot see that here because if you see he doesn't have the foot completely open. It's just, see, it's bended because of the force that he is using to do the pose. But anyhow, so the foot is actually, that's why I've made it bigger to match the head. But again, it's not, it doesn't look, it doesn't feel as big here because it's contracted the muscle there. So then you have the hand here, which is holding his arm. Then the lower arm, which is there, and the hands, which are, the hand is basically, it's a kind of a opened up there, which we do not see. It's in shadow, and you don't have to tackle it because it's not a clear image what's going on, but we know that it's the pose that it's open there. And then again coming down here with the arm, and thorax is bigger, so it's wider at the top there, and his back, his bum here, crotch area coming down here, pants and everything else. Then you have the thigh here, and all that is beautifully lighted. So if I take, let's say, what do you consider the most difficult thing to highlight? Would it be this or shadow? Would it be this foot or this thigh or this one? Or make both of them? Okay, both of them will be like this.
I think the lower one.
The lower one will be more
Because
difficult?
the foot is coming towards you, isn't it? It's sort of.
Yes, the foot, yeah, this one. So let's
Yeah,
isolate the
this
foot itself. So it's something like this. And as I said, the muscles are contracted, so it's a kind of a dark, which is, it suggests a shadow. Then the bone structure, then the calf down here. And then you have the thigh here. And dark in the middle. The middle is really, really dark here. Because you have the reflected light coming underneath his thigh and this one. So shadow first to create depth, and then work it with the, like we normally do with the shadow or with the putty rubber. The calf muscle is there, and you have the darks of the kneecap, thigh. There, I've gone very, very dark now because that's what I see, and also exaggerate some darks as well here. Okay. Okay. And leave the foot itself like that, and then separate it from the thigh at the top, and then work on the lights inside the foot itself, which are the toes here and the heel. Okay. And it's quite bumpy there. If you isolate it, it's a shape like that. Then you have the calf here. Calf. And then there. And you see isolating on its own, and then also darkening all around here. There. And the toes underneath. Then highlights on the calf. See how you can get the, well, you can work on the shadows, and then also this one, the highlight underneath the thigh there.
Hola.
And then
Just today. Because you're traveling tomorrow.
and then highlight here.
Next week. Oh, I thought it was tomorrow.
And shorten the knee.
Amazing. Okay.
And here as well. And shadow here.
Don't worry.
Start front,
Yeah, next Wednesday.
thorax to the front, and it's full of muscles here. There. Rib cage muscles, and best of all, do the background to look at that. The background to show the highlight of the There you are, to show the highlight on his belly. Huh? See how it starts jumping out? And a little bit of shadow here. And also on this side. There is not as dark the shadow, but it's one of the ways to make the body, to separate the body from the rest, from the background. And move that down, and you have this cup here now. There, there. And the gluteus area, light or lighter, and this one. And working on, but you see the shape first, so always the shape first, always the bigger upper, or the upper side, which is the biggest shape, kind of a squarish, then added that. So if you do not sort this, the relationship between the top part of the body, which is more like a square, and then bend it, and then the thigh, then no matter how good the shadows will be, it will not connect well. It will look like dislocated or not, not not connected well, or not. I can see you smiling.
It's a backwards capital D, isn't it?
Yes.
It's a D going the other way.
Oh, it's a D.
Yeah.
Oh yes, D. This
Capital
one.
D, yeah.
Oh yes. Oh, D going that way.
That's right.
Correct. Very good. Yeah, I didn't even think of that. It's
Well, it's
exactly.
only just occurred
No,
to
no,
me.
but
I was
it's-
sort of
yeah.
thinking that shape's
It's
a million. I realised it's a back D
Whatever.
going backwards.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whatever it reminds you,
Yeah.
just do it. And then one thing that I neglected and I didn't see is something like this. Look, this shadow starts from his nipple, look, goes right down to his lower thigh. So it's this dark shadow. Look, it's this one. So it comes from his nipple down, 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 right down here, and then you have the thigh. And then another. You see? So I'm talking about this. It's really, really interesting how that goes throughout all his body, and it ends up on the thigh. And then you have loads of muscles here. Now that is a little bit too thick, that part of the thigh, so I should bring that up a bit more. And crotch area, Jane, there you have.
Why me?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Exactly.
It just came up.
Why me?
So there, highlights, and then you have the thigh. I mean the gluteus, obviously, and beautiful muscles here within the thigh. Look. There. And obviously we have now to work on highlights on the. I mean that feels long to me, and that if it feels long, then it is long. So then it is something. Well, I didn't work on the hair, but the hair is just a dark. Well, I will treat the hair either dark or just keep it like this soft. It doesn't have to be anything but a little shape here. Look, basically there. It's slightly darker shape, and that feels long, which is big or long and huge. So make it, or the foot, I mean, smaller and thinner there. And then look, add some background noise here, look, to make it. You see what I mean? And shortness makes it smaller. Okay, that feels long on me, but that's something that you will have to look on your drawing, because yeah, if it feels long, then it is long. It doesn't feel correct. So look, make the hand here. Instead of making it there, just bring the hand closer to this part of it. And then elbow, chin, thorax there, and you have that shadow. Look, this shadow here of his neck and his what's that area?
Armpit.
Armpit, yes. Look, it's this one here. Thank you, Hilda. Thorax and his armpit there. And loads of shadows here, look. Huh? And you have that armpit muscle which separates from the rib cage. I'm talking about this, it's very clear there. The armpit muscle goes down, right down there, and it separates on the top from the upper rib cage there. And this area here, which is the thorax, gets or blends with the background. Look here, right here, this. You see what I mean? There. Blends up with the background. There you go. And if you want to highlight it, always with putty, instead of using anything else, just putty will be enough, the highlights. And there as well. And here. Instead of doing a line with a dark, do a line with a putty wrapper. Okay. What do you think?
Yeah, good.
Yeah.
Very good.
Yeah, so so you see, when we started this way, with this logic,
Yeah.
separate the upper body, which is the opposite side, or
Don't know what you say.
the
You can't say inverted because that doesn't.
inverted, no,
No.
turned on its
Backwards.
turned
No,
opposite, backwards,
D, whatever.
and then that's another V shape. Look.
Mirror D.
And that's another V shape, his thigh, and obviously that's the hand, which needs to follow the upper body, or the whole arm. And there's a highlight, there's a really beautiful highlight on the upper arm like this, at the back, here, there. There.
It's actually the same time. Oh, it looks bigger because it's got more. It hasn't got the same amount of white at the bottom. I think. I don't know.